Hi, thank you for visiting my RC channel. My name is Bill and I'm a RC radio control enthusiast, and I also do RC reviews. Thank you for joining me for this review of this new Emax Tinyhawk version 2 75mm 1 and 2S FPV whoop drone, supplied courtesy of Banggood.com to review and share with you. So it comes in this nice soft case, the carbon look, zipper, soft foam for protection, the Tinyhawk 2 itself with a 2-cell battery on the bottom. Also get a 1-cell battery. Get this little bag with a spare PH2 connector, screws, a round plastic thing, a couple of spare rubber bands and a small star Phillips screwdriver. Get this charging plate to charge the 1 and 2S battery. Get 4 spare props, which is always good. You get the instruction manual. Get some Emax decals. And we get this warning. It's saying, when plugging in a 2S LiPo, set the Tinyhawk 2 on profile 2 and rate profile 2. Profile 1 is tuned for 1S LiPos. And a little pouch in the lid here. So this is a bind and fly and comes with an FR Sky D8 receiver. And it's really great to see some of the improvements on this, particularly the camera and the VTX. But if we have a look at the frame now compared to the Tinyhawk S, the frame has been strengthened quite considerably for better durability. The camera is much better housed and is also adjustable. And this comes with the Runcam Nano 2 FPV camera for better crisp colors, wide dynamic range and sharp optics, and it is a 700 TVL CMOS camera. The VTX on this has more filters and power and is switchable from 25 milliwatts up to 100 and also 200 milliwatts with 37 channels including raceband. The motors, these brushless motors, are 0802 16,000 kV brushless motors for a 7% more increase in power and speed, and still comes with these Avan turtle mode 4 blade props. And hopefully if there are any more improvements to be made, they will come out in future with a screw-on option, because although people say these are difficult to remove, they do come off. And there are also LED lights in the inner lining of the ducts over here, and the lights actually respond to the throttle inputs and go brighter the more throttle you give. Has a Matic F411 flight controller with 4-in-1 5 BL Heli S ESCs. Also very pleased to see that the battery bay on this is flexible, so it comes with these elastic bands, so this is easy to put various size batteries in and also switch between a 1-cell and a 2-cell. Antennas quite well positioned here, the 2.4 GHz and the 5.8 GHz. Said the camera is adjustable, can adjust it just like that. And we've got the little fin on top to assist with turtle mode. Motors are not plug and play. There's a USB port on top, which is good because when it comes to calibrating the gyro, can put it down on a level surface too. Let's have a look at the weight. Without a battery, this comes in at only 31 grams. If I add on the 2-cell battery, it weighs 48 grams. And if I add on the 1-cell battery, it weighs 44 grams. The 2-cell battery is a 300 mAh LRHV high voltage battery with a pH2 connector, and the 1-cell battery is also a high voltage battery ATC with a burst of up to 160 C with a pH2 connector. So if you haven't got a hobby grade charger, you can use this charging board. Just plug the pH2 in to charge the 1-cell battery, and then plug the balance plug into this to charge the 2-cell battery. The instruction manual that comes with this is good, has a lot of details, gives all the information you need, including binding, changing the VTX using the button and also via Betaflight, etc. So let me just get this ready to bind. So I've got my radio controller ready to bind on FR Sky D8. Just got to power on the flight controller. Okay. Then the bind button is underneath here, where you see this sort of silver thing here. I just need to depress this for 2 seconds. Currently we can see the light alternating, flashing red and blue. Just get in under here. 1001, 1002, and release it. Now I can see the red light flashing. I enter bind. Okay, and then that goes solid blue, and then that is it bound. I go out of here, disconnect, and reconnect. Click on arm. That's the motor's armed. Now let's have a look at the Betaflight settings. Here we are, connected to Betaflight Configurator 10.6.0. And the first thing I always recommend you do is do a backup. So click on backup here. And it'll back this file up into a directory that you choose. And I've got this as Emax Tinyhawk to default directory. And then also go to the CLI and do a backup of the CLI. If you don't know how to do a backup of the CLI, just do a search for backup CLI and you'll find a lot of information on it. And then I've pasted the settings into a text file here. Okay, so if we go to ports, we can see USB VCP is enabled here. And on UART2, we've got VTX TBS Smart Audio enabled over here. Go to configuration. We're on DShot 600. Motor stop is turned off, so when it's armed, motors will spin. If you don't want motors to spin, you need to turn this on over there. Go down here, we've got craft name, Tinyhawk 2. The receiver's on SPI RX support and FR D for 8 channel. And we look at the other features here. We've got air mode, OSD, anti-gravity and dynamic filter enabled here. Look at power and battery. Minimum cell voltage 3.2, maximum 4.4, warning 3.3. I'm going to drop that down to 3.1 and click on save. Look at pits. These are the default pit settings on profile 1, ray profile 2. Not sure, just have a look at ray profile 2, because we might have to put it onto that to fly with a 2-cell battery. Look at profile 2 here. Okay, that changes, and then we look at rate profile 2 at there. So I'm going to leave it on profile 1 and rate profile 1 for now. Go to receiver. Okay, throttle's working. Yaw, pitch and roll, and I don't have to plug a battery in to check that, which is good. I look at modes. Go to auxiliary R. That's there. Look at switches here. On auxiliary 2, I've got angle there, horizon there. Oh, and we've got a beeper, which should be on auxiliary 3 here, which it is, and that's fine. Flip over after crash. Got on auxiliary 4 there. Okay, I don't see air or acro mode, so if I just go back here, horizon, if I put the switch in this position, I would imagine we'll go into air mode because we have air mode enabled. Look at OSD. Okay, we've got battery voltage, it's set on NTSC. Craft name, fly mode, RSSI value. Oh, do we have RSSI? I didn't see it in the receiver settings. VTX channel and warnings, so I like those settings, but don't particularly like having that up the top. So I'll put that there, bring the mode down here. I'll leave the RSSI up there and click on save. We just go back to receiver here. I don't see anything fluctuating for RSSI. Okay. And then if we go to the CLI and I type in dump, and we go to the top, we can see that the target is Betaflight STM32F411 version 4.1.0 dated October 16, 2019. Now while I'm here, I'm going to just check my VTX settings. So I'm going to type in get VTX and enter. I can see VTX channel is 4. Where's the VTX band? VTX band is 5. So I like flying on F4, so I need to change the band to 4. VTX power is at 1, which is 25 milliwatts. So to change VTX band, I type in set space VTX underscore band space equal space 4 and enter, and then type in save and enter. Reboots. I go back to CLI here again and I type in get VTX and enter. I can see now it's saved it as band 4 and channel 4. And when you finish changing all your settings, it's always best to back up the CLI again with your own settings and also do the backup that I showed you in the beginning. And also quite importantly, and which is particularly easy with this Tinyhawk, is calibrate the accelerometer by clicking on here. Calibrate while you've got it on a level surface, and that'll make sure that it flies steady too. So these are the Betaflight settings. Mike's racing it. So I'm very impressed with how well this performs, and the LED lights on it look great. So definitely worth upgrading if you've got an existing Tinyhawk. Otherwise, a great choice for an indoor racing whoop drone. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.